Hello and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your host and guide, Zolan Ironshield, and this is another episode of a LOTRO guide playlist. So we're gonna check out the class Stalker, the Warg class. Here we go. Don't forget to like and subscribe, you guys. It really does help out my channel, and check out the other playlists. This is kind of a side thing when I do the LOTRO guides, but it is fun and people do like them, so I'm making them. Alright, so as you can see, I'm a little different in game because I've got a cool skin, because this is actually my highest level creep I have. I usually play Freep side, but this guy is close to rank 5. And he's got some decent amount of kills himself. So let's talk about him. I'm basically the burglar of the Sauron side, of the enemies of the free people, the creep side, or the monsters, rawr, in the player versus monster player title. Alright, so I got a lot of teleports, I got some reusable items, but those are not things we're going to talk about in this. We're talking about skills. So we got March, like every other one has, right? Just out of movement speed, you're fast. We also have how we work like a burglar. So we have our ability Stealth, right? In Flying Brute, increase the application chance of Brute bonus. So, wait, Brute? Decrease movement speed unless traded. So it doesn't decrease my movement speed because I have the trait. This is important. When you first start your warg, you're going to be like, why am I so slow compared to watching his video? Well, it's because there's actually a trait I have. If we go over to traits here and you look, I have the appearance upgrades depending on your rank. See, I have a rank 4 appearance. Our upgrades here, enhanced skill stealth. Your ability to hide has been increased. +4 stealth level, 55% increased movement speed. Because normally you'd be decreased by that. So that's why. Alright, that's the ability you're looking for. Enhanced skill. And then you learn it from one of the people up at the camp. And then you can see here's your trait thing. I actually need to trait with class things too. And there's my corruption level things. It's a lot like the old trait tree. It's actually a lot more like the skirmish trait tree for your skirmish soldiers. Versus this is how you kind of used to do it, and still do it for them. If you want to know, you watch the skirmish video on my LOTRO guide series. But these are basically you get them and then you place them in here, right? And there's a guy you will do that with up at the camp. Maybe you'll do it right here. No, I think you have to be up at the camp to do it. So, all right, so let's test out the warg, shall we? All right, so we're gonna kill some more leeches because all these videos are testing our powers against leeches. So again, I'm stealthed, so they can still notice me just like a burglar, right? I did my video on a burglar class, real short video. They're all real basic ones. If you want more complex details, I can do more complex detailed videos. But here's what we do normally. So Sudden Pounce, if you're in stealth, increases damage when attacking from behind, and when you're in stealth, it does a 5-second stun. And it can it knocks down if it's a critical or devastating strike, all right? Versus just a normal stun, which is an important difference. So that was just a normal stun because it didn't devastate our stuff. So then you have Claws. That Pounce is that one, right? Pounce can still work, it just won't stun, but it does interrupt inductions when you're not in stealth, right? So it's still useful. You can still use Pounce as an interruption to inductions. Claw, it gives you play ranks. It basically keeps getting stronger as you use it on your opponent, I believe, right? I'm trying to read it. In Shadow, Claw deals twice the damage as Claws as increasing power cost. Increases damage when attacking from behind. So again, you want to attack from behind if possible in war. They're very cheap fighters. Very, very cheap fighters. That's kind of their thing. And then we got Swipe. You swipe at the target quickly, the attack cannot be evaded. So this hits no matter what. That always hits. Increases damage when attacking from behind, again. Then you got Maul. Tear your enemy with your sharp claws, drawing fresh blood, reducing incoming heal. So I bite him. Well, I killed him with that. But basically, you increase shadow damage. It does a bleed every 2 seconds for 10 seconds, and applies an anti-healing debuff on them. Also applies target with a critical devastating hit. So it has to be crit or devastating hit to reduce their incoming healing by 25% for 30 seconds. So again, critting is important. Also, you get a higher chance to crit when you're from behind, guys. I think that's still a mechanic in the game. I say think because it is. I'm almost 100% sure that's the thing. It's not a huge increase, but there is an increase. Savage Fangs. You rip your target's flesh, tearing muscle, and slowing his attacks, or their attacks. If the target has suffering from crippling bite, he begins taking damage over time. Okay, so if you've used crippling bite, which is this one, right? This one does a damage over time thing. So crippling bite is this one, and basically your jaws, you blah blah blah. You reduce their movement speed by 25% for 30 seconds. Crippling bite will do that, and it'll also reduce their block chance and attack duration. Then you've also got throat rip. Your skill tears their teeth and rip, and your target is silenced. Ooh. So basically 10 seconds of silence. Silence means if they have any abilities that need their voice to cast, they can't cast them. Minstrels, when they're yelling and roars and stuff and abilities to do damage, those won't be able to be cast. A lot of their heals won't be able to either. Same with lore masters. It won't really affect a lot of melee classes. Like it won't affect guardians like swings and champions and captains, but it will affect all their taunts and roars, captain's roars. They won't be able to do them for 10 seconds unless they remove the debuff with something. Tendered shred. Your teeth bite deeply into your foe, tearing a tendon and opening a tendon shred for a warband maneuver. Warband maneuvers are fellowship maneuvers, but on the creep side. It's important to know, everybody, right? I do not know if they've been upgraded on the creep side, because I know they haven't been upgraded on the freep side yet at the time of this video. I really hope they'll upgrade those in the future, because I think those were cool mechanic that the burglars and wargs can do more often than not. It does shatter damage, is a 5-second stun, starts warband maneuver. Warband maneuver is a harder stun than a regular stun. A little bit of a difference there. Then we got Rend Flesh. Your attack tears into your opponent's flesh, weakening its defenses, requires a critical response. So when you crit, this will pop up to be able to be used, increases damage when attacking from behind again, does shadow damage, and it makes incoming damage 10% from melee and ranged for 30 seconds on the thing you use it on. Then you have Disappear. From beneath the very nose of your foe, you can disappear and prowl unseen once more for a short while you're in stealth. Extremely effective. So basically, you briefly get in stealth, and you lose aggro. Bleeds will still, for 10 seconds, you cannot be knocked out of stealth. If you don't have bleeds on you, you will stay in stealth, and you can just keep running, right? A lot of times, freeps will try to throw bleeds on wargs just for this reason, because they'll pop this, and then run, and then they won't be able to find him, right? So let's go into combat, and if I pop this, I actually de-aggroed him too, right? Because it put me in a stealth no matter what. It's a rather long cooldown. It's 5 minutes. That's a long time for creep cooldowns. But see, I'm staying in stealth. But if I had a bleed on me after 10 seconds, if that bleed hit a damage on me, I'd pop out of stealth, right? Because I'd take damage. And then the freeps would know where you were, and they'd be looking for you, right? So a lot of times that would be the case. Wargs are very good at hit and run, because they have sprint, a sudden burst of speed, catching prey and avoiding being noticed, right? So for 20 seconds, you have 200% movement speed. It's a minute 30-second cooldown. It's really strong. So let's say you're in stealth, right? And you're like, I want to attack this freep. Let's pretend this is a free player, right? So you jump on him in stealth. Rah! And then you start hitting him. And then you crit, so I can use Rend Flesh. And then I'm using this one. I put him into another. This one's good because you can stack him on top of your normal stun because it's a fellowship maneuver one. So I fellowship maneuvered him, and I rend him, and I have all these things, and I'm just dropping stuff on him. And then suddenly, oh no, he's got friends coming, right? So this happens a lot. You use Disappear, which I haven't cooldown right now, so I could run away, right? But let's say they have bleeds on me. Use Disappear, and then I can use this, Sprint, which is like, I'm super fast. I am the fastest, right? 200% movement speed is ridiculously fast, especially in this game. Look at how fast I am. That slug is good luck trying to catch me, slug. All right, yeah, he gave up. So anyway, that's a good thing to know. The speed is amazing on that, and they can do that in stealth. So if you were put into the stealth for 10 seconds, you can start running away with that speed, right? And then you can either stay in stealth, but if you bleed, it's going to knock you out. Your movement speed will still keep going for that 20 seconds, though, right? But you might be far enough away. So that's why they're really good at hit and run. They'd go in the back and try to kill weak people that weren't tanks and then try to run away. The group of like 3 of them, that happened all the time. They were like the SWAT. They were like mugging people in the back, basically. So that's all good to know. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There's a subscribe button there. The next episode will be up there in the top left, and then we'll have our main playlist, LOTRO Tale, right there on the left here. Check out my other playlists. I'm your I'm your host and guide, Zolan Iron Shield, and I'll see you in the next episode of Middle Earth. Yeah, look, he's ready for it. Next episode of Voice of the Rings. See you guys. Thanks for watching.